Hey YouTube family, I am posting this video, but I wanted to come on here and add a disclaimer at the beginning of this because I filmed this video months ago when I was more at the beginning of my resume of Bright Line Eating, and now it's been 3.5 months and I'm down 28 pounds. So the things that I'm talking about here are valid and they work because I am a success story. So I want you to pay attention not only to what I'm saying, but also to the fact that I have been successful with the way that I'm implementing the program, version 2 as I call it. It was interesting to go back and watch this clip as I'm editing it now, and I apologize I was never able to upload this video initially when I first filmed it 3 months ago because I'm a busy mom, crazy busy life. The fact that I'm able to edit this video today is like, wow, it's Labor Day, I have time to edit a video. But I wanted to come and share this because I talked a lot about the reasoning behind why I'm doing what I'm doing. And now on this back end, now that I'm like further along in my journey than when I recorded this, I'm like, these tips totally worked for me. So I think that they're more compelling when you have someone that's like, I've been doing it and look how much weight I've lost. Also notice the difference between my face today and my face back then. So, I mean, listen, I was at a downward angle when I was filming that one, but it was still, it's amazing to see the difference that 28 pounds can make over 3 months. So anyway, hope this video is helpful. Let's get to the original filming version. Eat more to lose more on Bright Line Eating. How in the world is this possible? We're going to talk about it in this video. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Angela. I upload every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to help you in your weight loss goals, especially if you do or are interested in the Bright Line Eating program. I'm known here on YouTube for having done Bright Line Eating a 1.5 years ago, lost 60 pounds, the majority of it on Bright Line Eating, then renounced the program, regained a lot of weight, and now I'm doing the program in a version that I call version 2 for binge eating disorder. I have binge eating disorder. Many people, unfortunately, come into Bright Line Eating doing the program with binge eating disorder, or they develop binge eating disorder because it is such a restrictive, low-calorie plan. I talk about it a lot here on my channel because, especially in this version 2, I want to say hopefully more successful and more sustainable and more livable version that I'm doing. I talk about it because although the founder of Bright Line Eating, Dr. Susan Peirce Thompson, has mentioned in like one video, maybe there's more mentions, but I don't know. And I know she's mentioned it in her Resume book. I don't think that the program does a good enough job of publicizing the fact that you can and probably should add food to the weight loss plan if you suffer from binge eating disorder, or if you have a high metabolism, or if you're younger, or if you come from really high numbers, like you weigh 250 pounds or something like that. And I think that it's important for them to say it is an option for you. And not only is it an option for you to add food, it is ideal for you to add food. I had a comment on one of my videos yesterday where the lady literally said she's almost passing out because she has a very active job, very physical and physically demanding. And she literally was like, I start to feel as if I'm gonna black out and pass out. I'm literally like, oh my goodness, this is now a safety issue. This is a health and safety issue that if you pass out on your job and you injure yourself because you're doing the Bright Line Eating weight loss plan and it's not enough food for you, you got an issue. Like that is like, I got so worked up when I read her comment. I was like, oh my goodness, please eat more food. I commented back and was like, I probably should have put the disclaimer that I'm not a medical professional. I'm not qualified to give official advice. I don't have a dietitian degree. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a personal trainer. I literally have 0 qualifications medically other than the fact of this is what I'm doing and this is what's worked for me. And I did tell her, I'm like, I added the protein, grain, and fat to the weight loss plan. It's going great for me. Maybe you can consider that. Or, I should have been like, you need to stop this plan. It got me so worried for her. That's an extreme case. On a regular case, I feel like a lot of people have been commenting on my videos lately now that I've made it very obvious that I'm doing the weight loss plan with the addition of a protein, grain, and fat every day. It's like, on Bright Line Eating, what is it? You get 3 proteins, 2 fats, two fruits, you do a bunch of veggies. Yeah, and that's the plan for the weight loss plan. But what I do is I add an extra protein serving, an extra grain, and an extra fat, and it is a more sustainable and livable and long-term successful plan for me, I believe, because the problem with the weight loss plan, especially for someone like me that really likes vegan and vegetarian proteins, I just think it wasn't enough food for me because I Even when I don't exercise regularly, I just have a high metabolism. When I was doing Brightline the first time, I was losing like 3 pounds a week, which I think is too much. Like, I know Dr. Susan has said there's no scientific evidence saying that it's better if you go slower. She said, I say just get the weight off. That's a direct quote from one of her videos, but I feel like 3 pounds a week is excessive. And most medical professionals will tell you, the research shows if you're losing more than 2 pounds a week, it's always coming from your muscle stores, which is your basal metabolic rate riser. Like, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, the more you can eat, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like with Brightline Eating, it's such a low calorie plan that for people like me who, I don't know, I just have so many reasons why I should eat more food, and it's just going so much better for me. And I feel that many people need to do this or consider it. Dr. Susan has said in one video, she's like, I don't recommend this a lot, but if you have binge eating disorder or you struggle with stuff like that, I think the way she put it was like, consider doing the maintenance plan. Start with doing the maintenance plan for 6 months and just get your lines shiny and bright, and then pull food off slowly but surely to help you with weight loss. Because she was like, you need to handle the addiction first, like eating food addictively. And I definitely can see where she's coming from with that video. I'm doing things a little bit differently because I was like, you know, I still want to lose weight, not at a crazy rate, which is funny because I just lost 15 pounds in 1 month doing this weight loss plan plus 3 ads of food every day. I was just like, imagine how much weight I would have lost if I had done the weight loss plan, but I probably would have binged it because I would have been so hungry. There was a couple of days where I only was able to add in a half a protein instead of all 3 protein, grade, and fat things I do. I was only able to do a half protein because I was like super in a hurry. So I was just grabbing food with the weight loss plan because I had that memorized because I did it for so long. You know, when I did Brightline Eating, it was like for off and on for a year. I did the weight loss plan with just a half a protein, and I was so hungry that day. I was like, my body clearly told me, girl, this is not enough. And you cannot stick with this because you will be plagued with hunger and it will be on your brain all day. And I just was like, I need to eat enough to where I don't think about food. I definitely think you go into starvation brain if you're not eating enough, because then you're going to have those crazy urges to go binge eat because your body's trying to biologically protect you from what it thinks is like a threat, right? So anyway, I want to talk about eating more to lose more, because overall, if you eat more on a daily basis, but you actually stick with Brightline Eating, you can lose more weight in the long run. Look at it as losing the battle to win the war. I definitely feel like this is a strategy that many people should consider, because so many people try Brightline Eating and then fall off of it because they're like, I just can't stick with it. Now, for the portion of the population who start the weight loss program and they are able to stick to it, maybe they're crystal vasers, which means you never fall off the plan, you never cheat on it. Those people are amazing, and I'm so happy for them because they lose weight rapidly and steadily, and then they're at their goal and they maintain it. There's a very strong portion of the population who's able to do that. But I think my personal opinion, although I have no scientific data to back this up, but my personal opinion is just from the feedback that I get on my channel and comments that I've seen on the official Brightline Eating Facebook page, I think there is a larger portion, a bigger percentage of people who try Brightline Eating and then cannot do it because the weight loss program is so restrictive for them. So if they are given, I think if I could just advise Brightline Eating, even though I'm totally like, nobody watches on Brightline Eating, nobody watches my videos, but that's fine. But if I could advise them, I'd say, why don't you consider a version 2 plan that's like, if you're a female, try eating men's portions of food, or if you are above a certain weight threshold, like if you weigh 250 pounds or more, add this food in. Or if you choose to remain active, add an extra protein every day. Like, I don't know. I'm not the dietitian, but I just think that this is something that they could do to be like, if you've tried the weight loss plan and you've given it your best shot, maybe 2 or 3 times, and you're just like, wow, I've really, really, really tried it and it is not going well, then this is the next level option. You won't lose as fast, but you can be more likely to stick with it in the long term, which means overall you'll lose more. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does this make sense to you? The math. So I just think that this is an option that more people need to consider, which is why here on my channel, I'm like, Brightline Eating version 2, let's do this, right? So I wanted to show y'all my breakfast. And this is something that I feel like many people would be like, ooh, I don't want to do that. That's too rogue. But go rogue to lose more. Eat more to lose more. It's so simple to me because for me, I'm looking at the long-term picture. I'm looking at the long-term goal. And I'm like, I'm sticking with the program and not having urges to binge eat for the first time in 2 years. So this is going well for me. Maybe it will work for you too. So here's what I'm eating for breakfast. This is a very rogue Bright Line Eating breakfast. So it's 2 slices of Ezekiel bread because if you do Bright Line Eating's traditional weight loss plan, you can only have 1 slice of Ezekiel bread. Another thing, and Bright Line Eating has said you can do this, but it's like rogue and only do it if you have not had any stalls in your weight loss. But I'm like, I don't care about the weight loss. For me, it's less about the scale and more about sustainability. And I hope that that's something that you consider when you think about what you're going to eat. But 2 ounces of avocado smashed and replace 2 ounces of your morning fruit. So instead of eating 6 ounces of whatever fruit, just do 4 ounces of that fruit and then 2 ounces of this avocado. So that's something to consider. And then I have 1 egg and then I've got 1 ounce of melted cheese. And so this is a rogue breakfast because it's double grains and it's got that avocado replacing some of the fruit, which is completely rogue. In addition to this, I also have 4 ounces of milk in my iced coffee every morning. And that's like my morning coffee every day. And that's also an additional half protein. So at lunch, I have another half protein. And then this is my 2 grains for the day. And then I usually have my extra fat at night. So somebody asked me yesterday, how do you split up your protein, grains, and fats? Ideally on Bright Line Eating, like when you do the extra foods like I'm doing, ideally, Dr. Joy, who is the specialist on the Bright Line Eating membership plan, which somebody asked me if I was doing that. I did do the 1 month free membership, and I did watch a couple of the Dr. Joy calls, which were really helpful. Do recommend that. That's in the Bright Line Eating membership, which is $20 a month. If you go to the 5th Bright Line, it's called 5th Bright Line. There's a section on it, and the Dr. Joy daily calls are so great. I listened to 2 of them. She was amazing. I could tell that her advice was, if you have binge eating disorder, add in the extra food and treat it like your medicine. Make it sustainable in terms of like giving yourself automaticity. Like you eat the same, You eat the same, like you spread out the foods consistently, meaning like if you have an extra half protein at breakfast and an extra half protein at lunch and the extra grain at breakfast and the extra fat at dinner, that's perfect. And you stick with that every day. I must confess, I still go rogue and I just split it up however I feel like that day. You're not supposed to do that on Bright Line Eating. Like you're supposed to plan your food either the night before or in the morning ahead of time and then eat only and exactly that. I personally go rogue in that I never plan my food and I just fly by the seat of my pants, but I have the plan memorized. I did it for so long last year. It's literally like an automaticity thing for me. I just open the fridge. I'm like, what's 6 ounces of beans? What's 10 ounces of veggies? Because I do the 10 split. So anyway, this is a really long video. I've been having some long Bright Line Eating videos, but I have a lot of thoughts and I feel like this is working for me this way, and I want to publicize it because I feel like if it's working for me, then somebody out there it can be helpful for. And I've had several comments from people lately that are like, your journey is exactly mine. And so I'm sharing because sharing is caring, and I hope what works for me works for you. I love you. Stay tuned for my other videos. I have so much Bright Line Eating content coming out. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps other people find it in the YouTube algorithm if you give my video a thumbs up. So please consider doing that. Also consider subscribing because once again, that helps other people find the content here on YouTube. I love you and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.